Good morning, this is Bernard May, and I'm here with Adam de Jong. We're excited to have everybody here to talk about how to harness mobile marketing to grow your online business. And we're really excited about this topic. We believe that it's going to have a huge impact on everybody's business. And I'm excited that for those of you who have attended, we've got something special for you at the end of the presentation. This is one of the National Positions University classes, so we will have some tutorial requirements at the end, or some things for you to do. Go away and try and take advantage of the information that we're giving you today. What we're going to do is quickly go through the agenda, and we'll start off by talking about the opportunity. For those of you interested in statistics, we've got tons of great statistics that we'll be talking about to give you ideas of where the market's going and what the opportunity is for you. We'll be looking at the goals that maybe you should be setting for mobile marketing for a typical business that has an online presence today. Then we'll be looking at various aspects of mobile marketing. Today we'll compare the online or desktop search capabilities and have a look to see what it looks like online via the smartphone. Then what we'll do is we'll have a look at SEO and see how it looks also on a mobile device. We'll move on to local search. We'll look at video and social media and talk about those. And then I know a lot of you have been asking about apps, mobile apps. Should you jump into the mobile app market? Should you rather have a mobile optimized website? Or what is a mobile optimized website? We're going to have a look at that. We're also going to have a look at what National Positions offers, the National Positions mobile offerings. We're actually going to go into a demo and have a look at that. And then we are going to jump in and we're going to give you an action plan, a kind of a takeaway of what you could be working on. So also along the way, please ask questions. We're going to have a Q&A session at the end. So please enter into the webinar. The webinar has a section on the side for GoToWebinar where you can ask questions. Just type those questions in and we'll be happy to answer them at the end of the session. So it's understanding the opportunity. We're going to go through a couple of different trends, and we're going to look at a couple of statistics now. So why mobile? What's so exciting about mobile? It's a device that's always with us. It's a device that's always connected. I mean, this is the first time in history where we have the opportunity to take advantage of marketing to a device that is so personal, that is always on and always connected. And whether you're in a store, whether you're at a restaurant, whether you're at home, whether you're watching TV, whether you're in your car as a passenger going past a billboard, whether you're reading a magazine or a book, you have this device with you, and it's usually connected up to the internet. The other great thing about this is it's an emerging market. It's less competitive than traditional search. So there are lots of great opportunities. And
I just want to say, when we think about the mobile market and where it is now, there's sort of a famous quote from Wayne Gretzky, sort of the great hockey player, and he was always asked, how he was so successful, and he always had this famous quote that I think applies very much to where the mobile market is now. And he would say, "Success is skating where the hockey puck is going." And the last couple of years, we've been in a place where we're wondering, mobile devices are coming and people are using them, but we're not really sure how the market is evolving. And it's a sort of a really exciting time now, because we know to skate where the puck is. The market has taken shape, and it's now just a matter of getting there before your competitors do, before the market fully matures. So there's really tremendous opportunity to with the trends, and we'll go into some of these numbers. We really know where the market is going, and we can really get there. You can really get there before your competitors do.
And so, to go further on that, it's a great opportunity to dominate a space. It's kind of like being back in SEO in the late 90s. It's an emerging market. There's a lot of opportunity. It's rapidly growing. There's less clutter to drown out your message. The screen is much smaller. There's less that you can say, but at the same time, it doesn't have all these other you know, there's not an opportunity as much to put left and right navigations and put as much information. So usually it's a better way for people to focus on the info that you're providing. And with the phones is a great way for them to take action. They can call, of course it is a phone. They can go to maps and they can email you all from this device. And then, as I was saying earlier, kind of an intersection and convergence of everything. Whether it actually is taking all these different marketing capabilities that we're doing on the traditional marketing of the desktop, and it's putting them all onto a smartphone. So it's available for local searches. We'll talk about social media is so important. You can even do e-commerce, and we'll go into that and video and other factors shortly. So let's have a look at a couple of statistics. Got a lot of them here, but some that will hopefully make you excited. 81% of people with a smartphone browse the internet. This is a search that Google did actually just a week ago. 68% used an app, and 48% watched videos on their smartphone. So this is for a typical week. They interviewed 5,400 people and they asked them how they used their smartphones. So that was kind of interesting. The high usage of browsing is especially interesting. Then 72% of users use their smartphones while consuming other media. So this is kind of interesting. In fact, it showed that 2/3 of users, while they're watching TV, are actually keeping their phone up with, they're keeping their phone on, they're texting other people, they're surfing the web, they're doing other things. So that means there's a whole lot of interaction between traditional media and the phone. Search engines are most visited, 77% of respondents. So out of everything that people are doing besides calling on their phone, they're going to search engines. And so this is a great opportunity for us marketers to get out there and to take advantage of that. And then it says in 2012, so let's go out now about a year, mobile searches will be 25% of all global searches. So right now it's about 10%. We're going to see a huge increase, and as Adam was saying, you want to skate to where the puck is going to be. I think if you jump in now and you take this opportunity, you're going to do extremely well. And then let's go out now another 3 years. 142 million users will access the web from a mobile device. So that's almost half the American population. So a huge amount of opportunity out there as people start to use smartphones more and more. And then finally, let's go out 5 years. The mobile usage is expected to outweigh the traditional internet usage. And in fact, you'll see that in some countries already. In Japan, for instance, the usage of mobile phones is more than it is for traditional desktops. So we expect to see that happening in about 5 years here in the United States.
Yeah, and just looking at that last statistic, in 5 years, it really, 5 years in the life of the internet and technology is it's several lifetimes. But in the life of a business, it's not terribly long. So what you're going to see is, before you know it, the whole operation of how you're creating leads, how you're capturing leads, is going to sort of be turned completely towards mobile. And what you're going to have is all your users, all your customers, whether they're finding your business through mobile or not, they're going to be communicating with you through mobile. So not only is our mobile device going to be the predominant way to create leads, they're going to offer this ability to enhance the customer experience. Whereas communicating on a daily basis, on a weekly basis with your customers, it will allow you to really use mobile devices to maintain relationships, not just build new ones.
So let's move on and look at the market opportunity and some other statistics here. Another very interesting factor about using a smartphone is that so many people take action. I think what happens is it's much harder to interact on a smartphone today than it is to interact on a regular desktop. So what you're finding is that once people get involved in whatever they were trying to do on their smartphone, they usually take action. So 90% take action. On a social media side, 24% recommend a brand to friends. It's very easy for social media being incorporated into Facebook and Twitter, being incorporated usually into almost all apps and included in the National Positions app. And so you want to tell a friend, and this becomes an important criteria, an important area to incorporate. And then 79% use their mobile to shop. So if you're an e-commerce site, this is an important statistic. And then finally, 77% are contacted a business. And you'll see a little bit later how many contact them by phone, how many contact them by email, how many filled out a form. But it's a very, very high number, so very important.
Yeah, and if you look at these four stats, as Bernard was saying, 90% take action, but all these different stats reflect just how much action is taken on a mobile device and how much interaction you can have on a mobile device, really more than any other medium. It's really the most interactive medium that the world's ever known. And this really gets to the heart of the challenge with internet marketing, is you're getting your business found by more and more customers, you're driving tons of traffic to your website, but how are you going to convert that traffic? How are people going to go from being visitors to being customers? And when you consider that 90% of people take action, and just a year from now, a quarter of all web activity will be on the mobile device, it's just a tremendous opportunity to capture, to drive traffic, and it's targeted traffic that is very likely to take action and then convert into customers.
So just having a look at the two most popular, first of all, to kind of put things in context and to look at the two most popular platforms, Apple and Android. There's a third platform, which is RIM, which is BlackBerry. It's becoming more popular. But just to show you where we are right now, so out of all of the total subscribers, about 26% are made up of Apple and Android smartphones. And this is the total subscribers is showing everybody with every type of phone. Which in fact, the next slide is kind of more indicative of what's going on. Right now, they're more traditional phones, not smartphones on the market. But if you look out at quarter three, the third quarter of this year, 2011, you're going to see that they converge. There are going to be as many smartphones out there as there are traditional phones, and then it's going to overtake. And so really, traditional phones are going to kind of fall away. So everything that we're talking about today is kind of all aimed at the smartphones, because we want to work to go, for the future, not for something that is going to be kind of diminishing and becoming less important in the marketplace. So,
and when you look at this graphic, it's really starting, because what it really hits home is mobile devices. It's not really a trend. It's not a fad. It's an inevitability. When you look at it over just a 3-year period, which is a very short period of time, just how much tremendous change and really permanent change we're seeing in how people communicate and what people do with their mobile device. It's really, I think it really illustrates that this isn't a trend. This isn't a fad. You don't have to worry about our mobile device is going to be here today and not here tomorrow. It's really a permanent shift in the marketplace, and it's just a matter of getting there before the market fully matures, and it becomes harder to really dominate your place in the mobile market.
So let's have a look at some of the challenges, because not everything is rosy, but I'd say most things are very exciting. Obviously, the market's emerging. So how do you dip your foot or dip your toes into the water here? How do you get started? There's so many different platforms. There's Apple, Android, and RIM, as we were talking about. What do you program for? What do you program for all of them? There are lots of brand new opportunities out there. For instance, using barcodes, having check-in deals. So you probably heard about that a lot. Foursquare and Facebook having these campaigns where people come to their premises, like they say, for instance, the Gap store, and you actually arrive at Gap. You might get a free T-shirt for checking in on Facebook. Barcodes, if you use a barcode reader on your smartphone, you can find out all sorts of information. It'll take you to another web page. Coupons are huge. I know all of you have heard of Living Social and Groupon, and those kinds of emerging markets are becoming more and more important. And some of these solutions require custom programming. So you're kind of going back to where you were when you designed your website a couple of years ago. Where do you start now? And so we're going to answer those questions shortly. So the first thing, obviously, is to start off to understand your goal. What are you trying to do? Really, there are two kinds of goals that most people have. Are you deciding to brand, or are you just going to get your name out there? through, for instance, having an interesting app or having some kind of social media trend or marketing mechanism? Or do you actually want direct response? Do you want people to buy? Do you want people to sign up for leads? So then there are further questions that we typically ask people as we get into the market. Are you a local business? Are you trying to attract local customers? As we'll see in a moment, local is huge on the phone. It's really, really important. And then what are you offering a product? Are you offering a service? This will determine kind of what kind of implementation you want to have. So we'll go into discussing that in more detail, and you may want to, as you go through this, answer those kind of questions. Well, what do you really want? What is your goal out of, obviously you want to try and attract this new market and tap into this new market, but what exactly are you trying to achieve by tapping into it? So the next area is obviously overview of the mobile marketing. So we're going to go through multiple areas now. We're going to look at search, we're going to look at SEO, we're going to look at local search, we're going to look at social media, and then finally we're going to look at video. So let's go into mobile search first. So mobile keyword selection is different to traditional keyword selection. For the most part, mobile keywords are probably similar to what you're already using for your SEO campaign or your pay-per-click campaign, but typically people are using kind of the auto suggestions that Google comes up with, or they're typing less because typing on a smartphone is harder than typing on a keyboard. So as we'll see, local search is really, really important. Mobile optimized sites are preferred by the search engines over regular sites, and we're going to we're going to obviously delve into that in a big way. Search volumes are lower. I'm going to show you that in a moment, but results are less cluttered. So because the interface is a lot cleaner but smaller, there's less information that you end up seeing on the results. In fact, on a smartphone, you'll see only typically regular results. You'll see images and sometimes videos, but you're not seeing all the other types of filters that you see on the typical results. And positioning of results are different as well. So we've done a lot of testing on this. If you do have a mobile optimized website, the Google mobile crawler is looking at that and will give you often a better position because you've taken the time and effort to actually build a site for the smartphone. So let me also quickly go over and show you the keyword tool, and so you can get a kind of idea. So I went over here and I've done Los Angeles limousine, and there are about 5,400 searches for that on a monthly basis. And you'll see that if you go to advanced options, you probably haven't noticed this, but it says desktop and laptop devices. But if you go in here and you choose mobile devices with full internet browsers, you'll get some different results. So here we have 390. So depending on what the search is, there's really somewhere between 5 and 20% of the results are for smartphones. And so it's a much lower amount of traffic, but obviously that traffic is less competitive.
And one of the things you'll notice with this traffic is mobile web activity patterns are much different to sort of the web activity patterns of traditional desktops or laptops, because the functionality of a mobile device is a bit more limited. So while the sort of how user friendly an iPhone or an Android is, it's tremendous. People are surfing the web and typing in keywords and just generally searching in very different ways. So what you're going to find is as mobile search becomes more and more prevalent, and as mobile search traffic sort of just exponentially increases, the web activity patterns are going to remain the same. So understanding how mobile search is different from traditional search is very important, and we're going to go into mobile search engine optimization and why mobile SEO really is built specifically to drive targeted mobile traffic and how that translates to creating leads on the mobile device.
So we were saying earlier, we looked at that Google search, and it said 77% of mobile users are are searching. In fact, most of them are using the browser. And so that's really an exciting factor for us. The core optimization techniques are the same. So the things that we've been doing for you on the search engine optimization side, title tags, meta tags, on-site optimization, creating sitemaps, and submitting sitemaps, more or less the same. As we saw, the keywords can vary. You'll see search volume being slightly different when you choose certain keywords, but there's something that's important as well, and that was what I was mentioning earlier, that certain queries have interactive results. So as you're querying on the Google search bar, it's going to come back with certain results, and usually people are going to take those recommendations from Google. So that's something that we look at. We also look at personalization. So on an Android, people are always logged in. For that, in that case, the personalization is going to be really much more important. And besides that, you'll see how on-site the title tags and the meta tags are going to be shorter. There's not as much space for people to view title and meta tags, so we usually, instead of using 3 or 4 different terms, we usually use 1 or 2 terms per page. And usually we optimize less keywords. The site for your mobile optimized website is usually just a few pages long, so you want to take your primary, most important keywords. Also, with the competition being less, you can sometimes go after tougher keywords that you would never do on your regular SEO. So now let's have a look at the paid market. If you're going to do pay-per-click, 50% of users who see a mobile ad take action, so that's a lot higher than you're seeing on regular PPC. So people are much more interactive. The competition's lower. There are fewer ads. Instead of having ads at 3 at the top and I think up to 10 down the side, you've got far fewer ads, usually 5 to 7 ads. And the beauty of using a mobile device is you can have a call to action. So you not only can link to your website, but you can have people call you. And then when you get them on a landing page, you can have them click to map, and so they can quickly navigate to the right place. And then as we mentioned before, people are not going to type in as much, and of course you don't have as much space for your creative either. But we have had phenomenal results on PPC. So if you're interested in finding out more, we can get the appropriate person here at National Positions to show you what we've done. We've also created landing pages that are specifically built around this whole, clicking to call, clicking to map, being able to easily email you and use the phone, the immediacy of the phone.
And when you look at that 50%, we really want to just hammer home what a sort of tremendous opportunity that offers, because when it comes to paid search and PPC, the big concern is how cost effective is it? Are people going on Google and you're getting at the top of the page, but are people filtering out that little gray box that shows that it's a sponsored ad? Well, the great thing about a mobile device is it's like Bernard said, it's less cluttered, and people, because there's less things on the page and less things in view on a very small screen, when your paid advertisement comes up at the top of this mobile search, half the time people are taking action based on what they see there. So it's just as mobile search increases more and more, just the potential of paid search, mobile paid search, just increases exponentially.
And then this bar chart just tells you where you should put your money. I mean, Google is just absolutely eating up the market here. 97% of the market share for mobile paid. And I think a lot of this has to do with the Android, the success of the Android, and the fact that when you're searching on a Android, you're pretty much searching on a Google OS, and so you're getting results back that are Google results. So that's probably where you want to put most of your budget. So now let's talk about local search. So we know that a phone has a GPS built into it, and that is one of the and once people have a phone and they're mobile, it's obviously a mobile device, and so people in their cars and they can get places and or jump in a train or a cab. And so 95% of users are looking for local businesses, people on phones, much more than they are on a desktop, and 88% take action within a day. So this is this was another statistic that came out of that recent study. And So, that is, if you're a local business, this is very, very exciting. It also means that you need to have a very good local search implementation available. You need to have yourself on, the Google Maps and the Yahoo and the Bing Maps. You need to be in a lot of different directories. You need a lot of citations for your business. The next statistic here says 77% contacted a business, with 61% calling and 59% actually visiting the business. So that's another interesting thing. So most of the time on the internet marketing that we're doing, you do drive people to the phone, but here you're seeing a vast majority of people going to the phone. So when you build out your application, you need to build it so that people just press on the telephone number and they're calling you. And I'll show you an example of that shortly. Results are based on the current phone location. We talked about your GPS being your phone. And we talked about how important it is to be in all these different directories, Merchant Circle and Yelp and Zoom and yellowpages.com and Dext, etc., etc. Reviews are becoming more and more important. Also, reviews are important to include in your application if you have an opportunity. If you can get some positive reviews, that is what I think over time is going to be, reputation of a company is going to become more and more important to the algorithm. So now let's talk about social media. Social media, I put as the fastest growing segment of the mobile market. Why is it so important? Because people are commenting. People are out in the checkout line at the local supermarket and they're talking about something. And people are on Facebook, and people are at a restaurant checking in. And I was reading just 2 days ago about how you'll be able to almost find out how certain restaurants, how full a certain restaurant or bar is by being able to find out from other people that are already there what kind of situation or vibe it is. So it's this whole business of social media is just getting off the ground, and it's just going to keep growing and becoming more and more exciting. As we've spoken about before with Facebook and Twitter, value exchange is really important, and of course it's critical on the phone. What are you going to give away? Do you give away points? Do people win prizes for liking or viewing or following your particular website? And of course, with check-ins, a lot of people are giving discounts or coupons or some kind of value. And you'll see with a lot of apps, they include Facebook and Twitter. And so if you are considering putting together an application, I would highly recommend that you build social media into it. It's almost like a requirement that social be included in whatever application you build.
And one of the great things about social media is that it's we've all become much more interactive and educated consumers. So what do we use social media with whether it's like Facebook Deals that's being launched as a competition to Groupon, or Facebook Places where you learn about a restaurant or a store that a friend is at. We're all learning more about what our friends are using to find for their products and services. So it's sort of like the word of mouth taken to the nth degree, and it's timed infinity. So what you're seeing is there's a submergence with social media and mobile devices, because people are, when are they on Facebook? When are they on Twitter? Well, they're on it when they're on their iPhone or Android. So the ability to sort of be a part of this constant communication with other people who are using similar businesses that are related to yours, or finding products and services that a friend needs, that they're now going to recommend your business to them, and it's just it's almost like riding sort of a wave, the crest of a wave, as you're using this momentum of social media. And we're going to go into apps in a moment. I mean, just to sort of talk about how some of these things relate to one another. I mean, even if your business doesn't have an app, well, the Facebook app, the Twitter app on a mobile device, what this does, it allows you to sort of harness the power of all these changing technologies and emerging technologies to create leads for your business.
So let's talk a little bit about video and the importance of video. I think video is extremely important because for the most part, people don't want to read on a small device like a smartphone. So it says here 48% of users are watching videos on a mobile device. So quite a lot of people in a typical week watching video. And of course, it's easy to integrate a video onto your onto your website. And the one thing that's really important is upload your video to YouTube. One of the issues on Apple OS is that they don't run a lot of videos on different types of environments. So you want to be safe, have your video up on YouTube. And then a couple of tips on how to shoot your video for the mobile device. So the first thing is to make sure that the aspect ratios are set up right. And so you'll see when we show you the national positions, mobile optimized websites, we've done that for you. We've kind of set them up just right for the mobile device. And you want to make videos that are not high def videos so they can load quickly. The last thing people want is a video that's going to take forever to load, especially on 3G. And then when you shoot your video, take into consideration someone looking at it on a really small screen. So if you're going to see, you want to do a lot more close-ups. You want to do, you don't want to have high definition, lots of detail, because people aren't going to be able to see that.
Yeah, and just following up with what Bernard's saying, the great thing about videos is not only is it this dynamic medium, which people would much rather watch a video than read 1,000 words, because it's more interactive, it's visual. We're living in an age where the image is everything. But also, what's great about having a video at the top of a mobile page is you can communicate far more information in a far more dynamic way than just putting words on a small screen, because it's a lot easier to watch a video on a mobile device than read many words, blocks of text about a company. So not only are you providing content in a dynamic way that people want to see, you're also communicating more about your brand. You're really promoting your brand in a more informative way by using videos on mobile devices.
And also, I think it's the future. I mean, people want instant gratification. People expect to be able to watch a 2-minute video which can tell you and display and inform you a lot better than a whole lot of words would on the screen.
Yeah, and if just to linger on that for a sec, I mean, if a good example of mobile sites that use videos really effectively, CNN.com or ESPN.com. So if your competitors are using videos on nearly every mobile page and you don't, it's going to make your business seem a bit clunky, or maybe old-fashioned, or maybe you're just making your potential customer work a little harder. And of course, you're trying to make it easy for them to convert, and you're trying to make it as easy on them to get interested and learn about your business.
So now we're going to move on to really the two answers to jumping into the market are really mobile apps or mobile optimized websites. So let's have a look at apps quickly. And the first thing you have to ask yourself is, what would your app do? Would it inform people? Going back to the goals. Is it going to brand, or is it going to sell something? In most cases, most apps are branding, most of them informative. Most people have to have some reason why they want to come back to this app. So you'll see that a lot of applications are entertainment based, or in the case of some businesses, they offer ongoing discounts and ongoing coupons, and some reason why someone would open again that app again. Or they offer some kind of productivity. So ideas would be, say, a mortgage calculator that you could use on an ongoing basis. Or maybe it's a weight loss website, and you've got a journal, a weight loss journal that you're updating on a daily basis. Or you're doing some kind of calculator to determine your BMI or something, again for that weight loss site. So what kind of productivity, what kinds of utility can you provide? So then, looking at the market, I mean, this is probably a low number, 200,000 apps. There are just hundreds of thousands of apps out there. So you have to have your app stand out. It needs to be different, and it needs to really has to have value. If you're going to invest today, it needs to stand out. So it shows that 68% of people used an app during the week, going back to that study. Most people were gaming, entertainment. So some questions that I would like to throw out there. Is the app useful for your business? Is it really something that people are going to use over and over and over? Are they going to use it once and delete it, or are they going to use it every day? And then the target audience. So this is some of the challenges that we're running into. Like, for instance, we have a lot of national positions, a lot of attorneys as clients. And just because of the way that the US law is laid out, it's by state, and then usually people are only going to do work in a particular city. So the question is, can you get enough people? Let's say you're doing personal injury or DUI law. Can you get enough people? Is there enough audience for you to generate an app, for that particular group? And so you need to take that into consideration. So apps are usually a lot better if you have a national based business, and obviously benefit what's in it for the client. And then the tough challenge is, are you going to write it for Apple OS? So Apple right now has the biggest market share, but we could definitely tell you that Android is going to outweigh Apple, outdo Apple in taking market share in the next couple of months. So do you write for Android, or do you write for, BlackBerry is definitely the business marketplace. So you write for all three, and if you do, you need to have your plan set up for cross-platform development, be able to port the app from one to the other, and that obviously does become more expensive.
Yeah, and the allure of an app, or the business potential, it's tremendous. So so you should definitely research into whether or not you want to do it, because the benefits are that it's easy to scale. So if you can make an app that goes viral or is popular in a local way, you can just make phenomenal amounts of money very, very quickly, because, like I said, they're easy to scale. But the other question is it not just useful for the business, but does your business, or not just useful for your customers, but does your business lend itself to people using an app? So, there's really a question of, does the app marketplace really sort of fit your business model and how people use your business? Obviously, say a bank like Bank of America, an app for them, it's tremendously useful, and or Walmart, or Kmart, it's just done tremendous amounts for their business. But depending on, say, whether you're a lawyer, it's still uncertain whether or not apps are the way to go.
So then the next question when you have an app is kind of a similar situation to people had when they built a website. A lot of people thought, I'll build a website and I'm going to make a ton of money. And then they realize, you really need to promote the website. Without having promotion, your website's kind of useless. Same thing goes with, app development. Now with 200,000 plus apps, you need a promotion plan. So some of the strategies are to price your app the right way. A lot of apps sell for 99 cents, $4.99, $9.99. But a lot of times people start off with apps for free for a certain period of time, so that they can jump in and really gain popularity, get into that whole social aspect of the market. Then emailing. So you need to go back to your own client base to try and promote your app. Social media, your Facebook, your Twitter, get the word out. And then of course you've seen this all over the place, what we call offline marketing. You've seen it on TV, you've seen it in magazines and billboards, etc., where people are promoting their apps. So that is really, it's a whole different ballgame altogether in how you promote apps. So let's now move on to mobile optimized websites and see how they differ. So the nice thing about a mobile optimized website is that it works on any browser, any phone type. You'll see that Google Analytics actually came out. There was a new version of Google Analytics that came out about a week or two ago, and is heavily focused towards mobile. Why? Because Google realizes mobile is growing like crazy, and they are putting in a lot of features that allow you to actually access analytics on which people have come in on smartphones and other devices. And the thing with a mobile optimized website is you can quickly and easily jump into this market. You'll see at the bottom of the page here, we've got the traditional website for Domino's Pizza, lots and lots of words, doesn't fit on the screen properly. And here is the mobile optimized, simpler, better design for the mobile phone. So mobile sites can be really quickly designed. I'm going to show you in a demo how you can build a site literally within half an hour to an hour. You will have your own mobile site up and running. And the way that it works is that when people come onto your index page, onto your home page, there'll be a piece of code which will provide you, which will auto detect what kind of browser the person's using. So whatever phone they're using, they'll be directed to the right place. So one word of caution is if you're using a lot of Flash on your current site, when you bring it over and create a mobile optimized website, you want to get rid of the Flash and you want to replace it with HTML5. So this is one thing that I would start off. If you want to quickly get your website up, just put images there as placeholders, and then build out HTML5 over Flash, because Steve Jobs hates Flash and no Apple device will ever use Flash. So that's just one of the limitations. There are certain types of environments. For instance, if you're using WordPress, I don't know, Drupal and Joomla are coming out or have already come out with versions that allow you to build your site for the smartphone as well as for the desktop. But for a lot of you, that is not something that's available. So we'll show you what National Positions has to offer. And then the other thing that is for sure, and as we were saying, we tested this, is that mobile sites are given preference in the rankings. Not a huge amount, but they definitely do give a preference. So if you want to talk to where the Google algorithm is looking, they're looking to see whether you have taken the trouble to create a mobile optimized website. Yeah,
and if you look at, all that is really reasons enough to use a mobile site. But if you look at sort of the image, the graphics we've got at the bottom for Domino's, you see the standard versus the mobile website. It offers a great illustration of what a mobile optimized website can do, not just for driving traffic, but also a matter of conversion. And you see, calls to action, click to call, click to map. They're very present. They're very obvious on a mobile device. So it's a matter of designing a website and putting the content and the calls to action in dynamic places that are easy to find, and really making things about as user-friendly as possible. Like, as I said earlier, technology is making us all not just maybe a little more impatient, but much more savvy consumers and much more savvy technology users. So the easier you can make it on visitors, on potential customers, and the more you can sort of guide them through the funnel and the sales process, the more likely they are not to just find your mobile website, but to convert to customers, which is ultimately what we're talking about.
So now let's talk a little bit about what National Positions offers. You may be interested, but we do have a full mobile SEO program. Well, this is unique. We feel like we are the first and probably the only company to offer this. Like Adam was saying in the beginning, you want to skate to where the puck's gonna be. I know when we had some we have quite a few insurance clients, and when in California, Blue Cross was changing the name to Anthem, and a couple of clients came to us and said, wouldn't it be great if you could optimize for the term Anthem? We know that this is coming down the line in about 6 to 12 months. And we did, and we have got them to the top of the search engines for these Anthem keywords, which they're still at the top of the search engines for because they got in there first. And we hope we can do the same thing for you. So typically a National Positions SEO campaign, we'll take 5 keywords and optimize those. We'll do the normal optimization that we spoke about, title tags, meta tags. We'll create special sitemaps for the mobile websites, XML sitemaps that get submitted to the Google Webmaster Tools and the Bing Webmaster Tools. These are special sitemaps. They're different in the format, and they help the crawlers to know that you have a mobile optimized website. And then we also integrate and tell the local listings that you have a mobile version of your website, so that we put that in your listings. We generate about 50 links for you per month, and we create these free mobile optimized websites, which I'll show you in a moment.
And just to sort of pick up what Bernard was saying, SEO, the way SEO works, it builds exponentially on itself. So if you can get in there first and get in on the market before it fully matures, you can dominate that's what we mean when we say you can dominate the mobile market. So the benefits of driving mobile traffic that is likely to take action, likely to convert, and that mobile traffic is just going to, exponentially increase over the next 2 years, over the next 5 years. It's just such a tremendous opportunity for your business that if you can get in there now, before the market has fully reached saturation point, and dominate your place and on top of the rankings, just the likelihood that you're able to keep it against your competitors, it's just a great opportunity to get in now.
Okay, so let's go straight over to, we're going to talk about our mobile optimized websites, and the best part of this is that we're going to show you how to get a free website generated. For coming to this session today, you'll have this opportunity to go away and actually create your own website. We have this code which will automatically, as we said, redirect the user to the right formatted web page. What are the characteristics of a mobile optimized website? It has to load really fast. Again, consider someone on a 3G network. They don't have the bandwidth that you have in an office or on a regular internet connection, and it has to be optimized for the browser, and it has to have all these capabilities for local, so that they can find and get a map and all these types of things. And then of course have social media integration. We're talking about how important that is, and having video integration, and then finally track on Google Analytics and make the calls, mobile call to actions and click to call and click to map and all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let me show you how in 1, 2, 3 quick easy steps you too could go out and create a mobile optimized site. So I'm going to start out with, this is our regular National Positions website, and one thing that's really important, we keep talking about, make sure that your content is unique. But when it comes to mobile optimized websites, there are two questions that people always ask us. The first thing is, well, you're redirecting traffic to another little website that's contained on the same site as mine. Isn't that cloaking? That's something that was a black hat technique. And the answer is no. It's not considered by the search engines to be cloaking to redirect a phone to the correct type of application. The second question that people ask a lot is, should I have a subdomain like m.nationalpositions.com? And the answer is today that isn't necessary. It's better to have a version of National Positions, for instance, that is optimized for the web browser and automatically redirects to a nationalpositions.com version for the phone. So without further ado, let's go over to nationalmobileseo.com. So that's our site for generating our mobile SEO sites. So if you don't have an account, you just literally go down here and get started. I have an account, so I'm going to log in. And I'm going to go straight over to design, just give you just a brief overview of how this works. You're going to choose a template. You can choose from any particular template. You'll see it's all WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. So it's absolutely, everything is easy to choose. You can change your background. You obviously want to have your website match the look and feel. Here's the background colors. National Positions, our background color is white. You can choose your logo. You can choose a font, to go throughout the website, the font size. Of course, you can choose your icons, whichever color you want. I like the orange one. Now I'm over to work on the content. So I cut and paste something from my website. I'm just going to show you how easy. Now I'm going to paste it. This is how you can get your website design done so quickly, is that you're going to pretty much have your regular site up at the same time as you have your design for your mobile site. Let's go and just quickly have a look here. You can change font sizes. So for instance, say I want to highlight this word search engine optimization. I can just, sorry, I'm highlighting it in the wrong place here. If I highlight search engine optimization and then I go ahead and make it a bigger font size, it shows you exactly how I've changed it to bigger font size. You can add images, ones that are on your website. So that's really the preferred way to go, is to give the actual image that's on your website and to use it. But if you really want to, you can upload images from your PC, and you can add links and even add YouTube videos. So we were talking about the width and height for a YouTube video. We've optimized that to just be just right. Then you want to have your social media capabilities. So we have the ability to use Facebook and include your blogs, Twitter. You can determine, you want to change this out to a picture of a pizza, for instance, on the Domino's site. You had that picture. You can change that out, and then of course you always want to have a link to your website. So the mobile optimized website is not the be all and end all. I mean, you're not trying to recreate every single page that you have on your regular site on a mobile device. People aren't going to read 40, 100, 200 pages on a mobile device. If they really want to find something in detail, then you can direct them back to the main site. But for most people, they want to just get the quick information that we're going to show you now. So let's go over to the email. Now you can call any of these different tags that we have here. You can name them whatever you like. You could say contact us, and as you can see, it changes the title. And then you would over here put in whatever the email address is. So if they click on this, they will automatically go to the email section on their phone, so that they can email you. And then I guess the only more tricky section on this is on the location. So for instance, if I go over, I'm going to open up a new tab, and I'm going to go over to Maps, Google Maps. And if I type in, say, nationalpositions.com, or I put in my, my address, all I need to do is go over to this link over here and copy this, and it will actually set me up with the right map. It will automatically have the map settings for me. So that's probably the most complicated aspect of creating your own website. About us, again, you could say, whatever you wanted to say. You can say, call me, or contact us, as we had above, or whatever you want to say. Find us. And services, you would input your services, on your site. So, once you're done, you just basically hit download, and it is going to download an entire HTML website. And your website will actually be located, you take this code and you would actually put it into a mobile directory. So I'm just going to show you on our site kind of what it looks like. So here's our mobile version. Obviously it doesn't look, this is not what it's going to look like on a phone. This is, this is what it looks like on a large screen, but on a phone it's going to be formatted just right. So we've got pages that are easy to navigate to, and you can click for a location, you can fill out a form. We've also used some of the aspects that we were talking about earlier. If you for instance, click on our social media page, we have a lot of content that we basically put in here for SEO purposes, but really most people we expect are going to just click on the video and have a look at the video. So that was the product demo. And now over to the homework for the National Positions University. We highly recommend that you go out and use the National Mobile SEO website. You are free and welcome to add as many sites as you like. Even if you're not optimizing them with National Positions today, please feel free to tell your friends and to use it yourself to create a mobile version of the website. There are some situations where you have an e-commerce site where this may not work for, because it doesn't have a shopping cart built into it. But this is the first version of many versions of the National Mobile SEO program and mobile builder that we have out there. And then also, part of your homework, what is your tactic? Are you going to build an app? Are you going to build a mobile optimized website? Are you going to do SEO for this? And whatever it is that you decide, I highly recommend that you jump into this as soon as possible. So in conclusion, they've been saying for so long, this is the year of the mobile device, this is the year of the mobile I say this is the year of mobile internet marketing. This is an incredible opportunity, and we highly recommend that you jump in and actually take advantage of this. And now we're going to head over to questions and answers.
Yeah, our first question that we've gotten asked a few times is some people are wondering whether they should do mobile apps or whether they should do mobile optimized websites, and they sort of think it's an either or. Bernard, would you like to So take a crack at that one.
Well, I think when some of the questions, one that is a question that we get all the time. Mobile optimized websites is really so easy. As I said, in 1 hour of work, you could probably have a mobile optimized website ready to go. That's a place to jump in. You want to absolutely have a website that's optimized for the phones, for the smartphones. That's a no-brainer. And then the question is, do you think that you have the capability or the type of business that would warrant an app?
Yeah, I would only add that it's, I guess from the question, some people were thinking it's an either or. It really isn't. Whether or not an app works for your business model and you think you have the potential for a really great app to go viral, that's great. But that's a sort of separate matter entirely. For every business, entering one of the key aspects of entering the mobile market is having a mobile optimized website that with mobile SEO that drives targeted mobile traffic and creates leads with mobile users. So we don't want you to think it's sort of an either or, it's sort of a false dichotomy there. And another question, second question we've gotten asked a few times is when building my mobile site, how should I think how much of my homepage or my traditional content, my homepage content, should I put on a mobile homepage? How much of the actual content should I include, and what should I include? So,
you can. One of the issues is duplicate content. There is no problem with duplicating your content that you have on your regular site on the mobile site. I think we mentioned that before, because Google understands that there's going to be two different versions for the desktop and for the phone. I wouldn't bring across all your content. You want to bring across the content that people would like to read on a mobile device. Remember, you want the page to load really quickly. So if you're going to bring across everything that you have on your current website, you might as well have people go to your current website. You're kind of defeating the purpose. So summarize it, try to make it attractive looking and easy for people to read and understand and navigate on the device. There is a little bit of a trade-off always with marketing. You probably want to still have keyword-rich content that will match the keyword in your title tags and meta tags, and so that obviously is a consideration.
Yeah, and I would just say one of the sort of common mistakes to avoid for people who are trying to create a mobile optimized site to enter the market is they want to transfer all their content because they think because their traditional website has been very successful for them. It's driven a lot of traffic, got high rankings, they have a very good conversion rate, and they think if it ain't broke, don't fix it, which usually would work. But in this case, you really have to design for the medium, and the last thing you want to do is just put 40 pages of dense content that works on a traditional website, but it won't work on a mobile device. You really have to consider not just the audience and the target audience, but the medium itself. So it's an important one. And another question we've got here is, I guess it's a bit of confusion, is mobile SEO, doing mobile SEO, is it a replacement for the other SEO work that we're having done?
Right. That is a good question. They actually complement one another. You do need a core SEO program. You'll see that a lot of your rankings will come across from the core desktop or traditional SEO that you're doing, but having an optimized web page where you have deep linking into the mobile page is going to help. So it's really a complement. It doesn't stand. I wouldn't say it's a good idea to have it stand by itself. You really want to work in conjunction with your main SEO campaign. And as you'll know, if you're interested, it's just it's really a fairly inexpensive way. Our program is a small add-on to the SEO program, which you can find out further if you contact your salesperson. He'll tell you more about pricing. Yeah,
and just to sort of add on to that, a lot of with these sort of internet marketing techniques, it's they all sort of go together. So social media, to really maximize the sort of impact of your social media marketing, it needs to be part of the SEO, or it needs to work in conjunction with the SEO, and it's sort of the same concept with and methodology with your mobile SEO. So we want to really underscore the great opportunity that the mobile market offers, but at the same time, it's not a replacement. It sort of doesn't fit in where your sort of traditional SEO has gone.
So last question, I know as we're coming up to the hour, is which mobile directories would you recommend inserting your company into? What does national positions do? Well, all of the traditional directories are also important for mobile. So we talked about Yelp and City Search and those types of directories, online yellow pages, but all the other directories that normally we do for regular SEO, often, or as you'll see, many of them are also becoming available for mobile devices, and it really doesn't. I don't think there's such a difference between saying, this is a mobile specific directory versus a traditional directory. They will work, and the inbound links that you get from those will work. The key is that where the inbound link will go, we will do deep linking into where the mobile website is. So the campaign that we'll do for you is do 50 inbound links, deep links to your mobile page on a monthly basis. So I guess on behalf of Adam and I, we'd like to thank you so much for attending this session. And our next one is going to be on social media.
No, via SEO. And
via SEO, on video SEO. So we hope you'll tune in for that one. And we appreciate very much everybody attending today. Thank you so much.